Give me rent.
You'll get your rent when you fix this damn door!
Today we're going to talk about Spider-Man 3, the end of the Tobey Maguire Spider-Man franchise that even the director didn't like. Before I get to the main topic of the video, I would be very happy if you subscribe to my channel. Your subscription encourages me to make more videos. Let's move on to the main topic of the video. If you don't believe that the director didn't like the movie he made, listen to what Sam Raimi, who directed the first 3 movies in the series, had to say about the third movie.
A movie that didn't work very well. I tried to make it work, but didn't really believe in all the characters, and so that can't be hidden from people who love Spider-Man. If a director doesn't love something, it's wrong of them to make it.
That Spider-Man 3 is a crazy movie. Peter Parker almost kills his best friend in this movie. But then he regrets it and gives him CPR. But then he regrets giving him CPR and throws a bomb in his face. As you know, I started reviewing all the Spider-Man movies in order, and with this video we are coming to the end of the series with Tobey, but don't worry, we will continue with the Andrew Garfield Spider-Man movies. This is going to be the weirdest video of the series so far because Spider-Man 3 is a very weird movie. I love this scene. Harry does the classic bad guy trick and disappears. But you can tell by the look on the guy's face that Harry is probably hiding under the table. I wish there was a scene in the movie where Peter goes back to the cafe and says to Harry, "Are you stupid? What are you doing?" And Harry beats the shit out of him. The previous movies in the series also had weird stories that alternated between weird and funny, but none of them can compete with this movie. Some of the scenes in this movie, especially the dance scene, became incredibly popular on the internet. You know the montage scene in the movie where Peter walks around in the Venom suit and treats everyone badly after the movie was released. These scenes were mocked incredibly. There's even a scene about it in the animated Spider-Man movie.
We don't really talk about this.
Friends, we have a lot to talk about this movie. I was a kid when Spider-Man 3 came out in 2007 and I loved it. I thought it was great, especially seeing Peter's dark side, after watching the movie again to make this video. I have a slightly different opinion. I think Spider-Man 3 is a bad movie with a lot of good things in it. Now I'm going to start talking about the events in the movie one by one. But I'm not going to do it in order like the first 2 movies because there are so many unrelated things that happen in the movie that if I tell you all of them in order, you might get bored in the video. Spider-Man 2 was about the raw Peter Parker and the acceptance of being Spider-Man by a man who failed to become Spider-Man. At the beginning of Spider-Man 3, we find Peter with all his problems solved. He's back in class. He's with the love of his life, MJ, and he loves being Spider-Man. I think all these positive things are a bit too much for Peter, because as the movie progresses, not only because of Venom, but before our friend is taken over by Venom, he turns into a bit of a cocky character and acts like an idiot. At the beginning of the movie, when MJ gets bad reviews about the game he's playing, Peter immediately turns around and says,
Believe me, I know. Spider-Man gets attacked all the time.
This isn't about you. This is about me.
MJ is right here. Peter thinks that there is nothing wrong in his life right now and everyone can easily be happy because he is happy. But for Peter to be happy, he had to stop being Spider-Man and question life as we saw in the second movie. Peter has no empathy here. Unfortunately, there is also the kissing issue. Peter kisses Gavin Stacy as Spider-Man for no reason, just because people want him to. No, Spider-Man, no! This kid is right. Peter shouldn't have done such a thing, but what does our idiot Peter do? He gets ready to propose marriage without even talking to his girlfriend, without even thinking that MJ might feel bad. During dinner, MJ is about to say that she was fired from the game she was playing and that she is sorry, but Peter interrupts her. Not listening to MJ, Peter guesses in his head that what MJ has to say is about the fame the game has brought him. Then, like an idiot, he says that he can understand MJ well because Spider-Man is also very famous.
I know exactly how you feel. It happens to me all the time. I see Spider-Man posters in the window.
Later in the movie, Peter unquestioningly dons the Venom suit and becomes an even more disgusting human being. Director Sam Raimi says that Venom is a metaphor for alcohol. Because of Venom, Peter's bad traits surface even more and he becomes addicted. Yes, it's ridiculous that Peter, after being possessed by Venom, suddenly has his hair swept to the side, wears eyeliner, and changes his hair color. Sure, character's appearance is important, but we don't need to see someone flipping their hair to know they're evil. Still, I thought the montage of Peter dancing in the street and doing ridiculous stunts was very good. This scene is both bad and good and weirdly funny. But in the end, it's a lot of fun to watch. In the end, the movie is not trying to make Peter seem like a really cool character. The movie is telling us how stupid Peter has become. It makes perfect sense that Peter, who knows nothing about being a cool bad boy, would act in such a brainless way. I also like the scene where Given takes Stacy to a jazz bar to make MJ jealous, where he does ridiculous dance moves. After all, it takes guts to put such a weird scene in a Spider-Man movie. Imagine that the person doing these moves is everyone's favorite superhero, Peter Parker. This movie turns one of the most beloved superheroes into a dark person. Peter throwing a bomb at his friend and killing the man who killed his uncle for revenge and showing off to his aunt are very antipathetic acts. Of course, courage is important, but I also admit that these scenes are very funny and bad. So much happens in Spider-Man 3 that you don't know how to feel while watching the movie. Before I get to the negatives of the movie, I will try to finish with the positives. Spider-Man's black suit in the movie was very sexy. Sandman looked just as good. I thought it was extremely sad that he couldn't hold the necklace with his child's picture in the scene where the character was first formed. Yes, now we can move on to the cons. Let's start with MJ and Peter's relationship. Even though this relationship is at the heart of the trilogy, I never liked these two. I knew Peter was in love with MJ, but why do these two love each other? I didn't understand why they were together. When I watched the movie, I didn't care that MJ was upset because she was getting bad reviews and that the couple kept breaking up and making up. Second minus Green Goblin. At the beginning of the movie, we see Harry Osborn as the Green Goblin and he suddenly falls and loses his memory. Then he forgets why he doesn't like Peter and befriends him like before. Here the director makes Harry wear the same outfit he wore in the first movie when he was friends with Peter. These are nice details, but it is a very simple move for the character to lose his memory for the story to continue. In fact, Harry regaining his memory was just as ridiculous. MJ goes to Harry's house and makes an omelet and dances with him because Peter is an idiot and he feels lonely. Then they kiss, but MJ regrets it and suddenly leaves the house. Harry gets sad and drinks and suddenly remembers that he hates Peter and that he is the Green Goblin. Because there's another villain in the movie called Sandman, and Peter kills Sandman a scene or two before, wearing the Venom suit, or at least he thinks he does. By the way, they immediately put the Green Goblin in the movie to have less villains in the movie. Harry forces MJ to break up with Peter. When Peter tells Harry, who he doesn't know and considers a friend, that Harry has turned into a Green Goblin, the guy says he's dating MJ just to spite him. Then he does the stupid thing I mentioned at the beginning of the video. Peter gets angry that night and beats Harry up, throws a bomb in his face, and starts dancing in the street. By the way, here's the funny thing. Peter asks Harry for help at the end of the movie when Sandman and Venom kidnap MJ. When Harry says no, Peter leaves, but then suddenly Harry's butler shows up and gives Harry some very important information. Harry hates Spider-Man because he thinks Spider-Man killed his father. The butler tells Harry that at his father's autopsy, his father, not Spider-Man, was responsible for his death. So Harry goes and helps Spider-Man and in the process sacrifices himself and dies. This is a ridiculous story because the butler could have given Harry this information at any time. This is a very, very bad example of screenwriting and character motivation. The screenwriters must have taken such a decision because they didn't believe in the movie themselves. Eddie Brock, the journalist who tries to replace Peter in the movie, is a bigger idiot than Peter. She photoshops photos to get a job. Peter realizes this and gets her fired. Meanwhile, Peter tries to get rid of Venom because he hit MJ and feels bad, and Venom passes to Edie. So Edie gets together with Sandman and decides to kill Peter. The action scenes at the end of the movie where Peter stops Venom were quite entertaining. Peter forgiving the man who killed his uncle was not bad either. However, because the movie tries to tell too many things at the same time, Spider-Man 3 is unfortunately a bad movie in my eyes. It is obvious that Spider-Man 3 was not made with the positive energy of the first two movies. Aunt May, who gave Peter life lessons in the second movie, does the same things in this movie, but still, one cannot experience the emotions of the second movie again. Yes, friends, we have come to the end of another Spider-Man series. I hope you liked the video. See you in the next videos. Take care of yourselves very well.
Deposit Photos Music.